What's up? Kevin Kaufman here of kevinandfred.com and the Group 4610 Real Estate Network coming at you with this week's shift tactic. I almost said something there completely inappropriate. Anyways, hey, this week's tactic is number 7, pricing ahead of the market, seller pricing strategies. And this is another great chapter, tons of good information in there. I actually want to go through one page because I think it's very important that we really nail this as real estate professionals. It's our job to help guide our sellers, help guide the seller through the real estate transaction, give them the best advice possible. Now, some people will give you different advice. They'll take listings regardless of what the price is, what's going on in the market, just because they want a listing, they want a sign in the ground. I definitely am not of that mindset. I'm of the mindset of you take listings that are priced to sell and sell quickly. I don't like to waste my money on servicing a listing. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just grab this book real quick and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share one quote with you first. There's a quote in here from my good buddy, Matt Fedek, where he discusses essentially not taking overpriced listings. And his line in here is great because it's actually part of the script we teach our team that says it's best to turn unrealistic sellers down during the listing appointment rather than disappoint them later. Now, that's a mind shift for some of you because some of you have never turned down a listing. Like the seller says they'll sell, you're going to do it no matter what. And I'm going to suggest that maybe probably don't want to take every listing that you can get. Now, not all of you are doing that, but we all know there's that agent in our office, in the other firm, down the street, whatever that does that. But what I really want to share with you is page 156, if you got the black special edition version like I do today, where Gary lists out the 7 maxims for pricing in a shifted market. So I'm just going to go ahead and read these to you. These are great. Number 1 is be a student of your market. Know your numbers. It's so important to know what's going on in the market. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your clients to know those numbers. Number 2 is focus your main comps on actives. Pendings and solds may already be out of date. Now, that can be different in other markets, but when you're talking about a shifting market, yes, you need to know what's pending, you need to know what's sold, but sometimes the actives can tell more of the story. As an example, if a market's going down, and so you've got 3 actives that are 220, 225, 227, well, but everything's listed at 215 for the same model match. Do you price where the sold comps are or where the active comps are? Because the active comps are actually your competition. So focus on active comps as well. Number 3 is be a student of property. Preview them so you understand what is selling and why. So when you're in a neighborhood and you're taking a listing or you're going on a listing appointment, know what else is for sale in the market and what does it look like on the inside. Know your competition. Keep your presentation as current as possible. Let your ongoing research do the talking. I actually think that goes back to point number 1 of being a student of the market. Number 5 is pre-qualify for motivation. Sellers who most need to sell most often. The great Russell Shaw, who I'm fortunate enough to have a friendship with, taught a class for a couple of us about 2 years ago, and I remember him talking about, it was about pricing, and he was sharing with us he's willing to take a listing at almost any price if the seller's motivation is high enough. Now, didn't say he's just willing to take any listing at any price. It depends on the motivation. So you want to pre-qualify for motivation. Number 6 is price ahead of the market. Avoid chasing it. Trust me, you don't want to chase the market. You want the market to catch up to you. And number 7 is always secure price reduction in advance to avoid falling behind the market. Now, this is one I love. When I take listings, I always ask for a price adjustment ahead of time if we're not going to price exactly where I think we need to be to sell within 7 to 10 days. So that adjustment could be 2 weeks, it could be 21 days, it could be 4 weeks in the future, it doesn't matter. I want to secure that price adjustment right then and there. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this week's shift tactic video. I said it that time without stumbling, didn't almost say a cuss word. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. For those of you who are Boomtown users, I hope to see you in Charleston, South Carolina this week for Boomtown Unite. Talk to you later.